Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Indie Horror Speedruns Hub Combo Showcase. My name is Slays, and I'm going to be your host for the next couple of games. And here we have Tim Trollgasm running Babysitter Bloodbath, No Out of Bounds. Tim, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Zom. How are you?
And I'm good, my friend. I'm good.
Okay, so I'm going to be joined on commentary by the one and only Pleasantly GG.
Yeah.
So, timer will start. Okay, so normally we would start the timer when the first dialogue window pops up, but that's a pain in the butt. So we're just going to start the timer from when I hit yes. So 3, 2, 1, go. So, volume warning. Being a puppet combo game, the intro is incredibly loud. Sorry, headphone users. So, 80% no out of bounds is much similar in routing as just the regular glitchless, except we have the ability to use two specific glitches to... They're basically like... what's the word I'm looking for here? Comfort glitches, basically, because this game can be quite broken. As in, like, if you're interacting with something and the killer's around, he can just kill you while you're unable to do anything. Yeah, even in cutscenes, he can get in there and just kill you. So we've just done this whole little bit of dialogue. We've asked to get paid right off the bat, and they're like, nah, dog. So this game has tank controls, but you also use the mouse to maneuver around, which makes for some really wonky movement. I know Plez likes to use strafing movement, which this game also has, but I just can't wrap my head around it, so I just don't use it. Stamina management is also a big thing. We're going to answer this phone as soon as it rings and get this really weird, creepy dialogue. Okay, then we're going to take a couple of steps back and run forward. Bang! And then we get another phone call. We've just skipped the whole ringtone. And this is our friend Jill, who's asking us if we're going to go meet up with the guy that we met at the mall today, and then calls us a slut. Okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to pick up some cereal and some milk, and that'll come into play pretty soon. So in a regular 80% run, here you wouldn't even worry about that. You just go straight to the fridge, and you'd interact with the fridge and clip you out of bounds. So now we're going over here to try and grab the note that has Jack's number, and we found out that Billy, the little turd, had it, and so we just chased him down and grab it. Now we're going to enter that number in here. Little shit, that's correct. That's one way to put it. Okay, and then he's just like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, oh, you know, hitting mailboxes and drinking and all that fun stuff. And so he's like, hey, get some liquor and I'll come round. And we all know what that means. And so we find out that Billy's got the key. And so in order to get that key, we have to give him something to eat, which is what the cereal was for. He complains that he's eating cereal at night, which, I don't know, man. I'm 35 and I still like eating cereal at night, so...
Cereal's bog.
Okay. Actually. So we're just going to grab the liquor here. And then we're going to head back downstairs, and we're going to initiate the first of two glitches, which was actually pretty recently discovered. So what happens is, when you finish interacting with dialogue of Billy, it teleports you upstairs. So we're going to re-interact with that, leave it on screen, and then we're spam through it, and it teleports us again, which puts us much closer to the door to where we need to be. Saves us having to run downstairs. So I think the idea is the positioning. It's like, hey, you have to teleport, like transfer a position here, and it just gets all muddled up because we're in a different spot, and it puts us back down there. Just going to span through some dialogue here. Okay.
He just hides in the bushes.
Yeah. Being a shitter. Okay, so we heard a bang. What's that? Better go get the big strong man. He has a win. She's like, oh, I want to watch the movie. Coming up is the second glitch, which can be a bit finicky, but if I get this glitch correct, it will actually stop the killer from spawning in the game until the final boss fight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
Saves a lot of hassle.
It does, it absolutely does. I'm going to spam through all this dialogue, and then I'm going to try and initiate the dialogue again. Hang on, we're not quite there yet. So he's going to... Okay. Okay. Then we're going to just try and... What? Oh, no. That could be bad. that just glitched out on me real bad. So this could...
Oh, did you interact with him too quick?
I did. Okay, no. So we did get a trigger box there. So that should mean that the glitch worked. But I just got a really weird camera and really weird dialogue. So it kind of threw me off there. Now I actually have to wait for this whole scream to finish and the lights to go out before I go upstairs. If I do that, because that glitch is activated, it can actually soft lock the game. Okay, so now that we've got controller Sarah again, we can continue on as normal. And we're actually going to jump downstairs and we're going to get the classic bolt cutters that you would find in horror games.
Every game's got one.
Every good
Bolt
game's got one.
But there's the pliers. Yeah, one of the two.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to
Or a
just
hammer.
follow around here. Or a hammer, yes. And we're going to go back upstairs and find the door, maybe. Door. Door. Okay, we're going to try that again. Okay, the door's seemingly... There we go. It's pitch black. I cannot see a thing. Okay, so now old mate Jack's come back from the dead. And that can happen with that glitch. He can just be there. And so I'm going to be very careful not to trigger the cutscene from before, because that can just really ruin things for you. And it is doable. I've had that happen in previous runs. Okay, so we're going back into pitch black darkness, and we're going to try and find, yep, we've got the gasoline can. Now we're going to exit and find the, wow, okay, there we go. And then we're going to go fill up the car with petrol. Now this, time is coming up when I killed the killer, but this fight is awful. Would you like to try and explain that so I don't have to?
The fight, you have to like circle around him. You only hold right, and you kind of have to keep this perfect axis around him, this little orbit. And if you get off a little bit, he will.
Time!
He mocks you. He mobs you.
So there we go. That was Babysitter Bloodbath.
That was a solid boss fight too.
That fight is just awful.
That was super cool. Oh yeah.
So if you guys, I don't know how many of you actually saw the puppet combo showcase we did last year, but Plez actually died in the boss fight. So that was redemption for Plez.
Thank you.
I got you, bro.
Mwah. Love you.
Alrighty, so that's it for Babysitter Bloodbath. Back to you, Zom.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed Tim with Babysitter a Bloodbath. That was quite the boss fight. So, up next, we have Tim with Sam Hain, any %. Stay tuned.